Okay, I'm back. So super annoyingly, the video just cut out on me again. But super luckily, I noticed it pretty much immediately. So I believe I was just saying that to divide this complex fraction, you basically just take the numerator and multiply it by the reciprocal of the denominator. We said that yes, you can cross reduce over a multiplication sign. Don't cross multiply, for the love of God. Don't cross multiply, but you can cross reduce. And then once you're done cross reducing, you multiply the top by the top. So you're going to get 159. You multiply the bottom by the bottom. 1 times 13 is 13, obviously. And we are negative. So this should be the answer. Negative 159 thirteenths. And what I was saying was, I don't want to get this wrong, so I'm going to just pause for a second and I'll check it on my calculator the way I do, and I'll show you if we're right or wrong. Okay, so this is why you check your work, children. Zoop. Hey, look, I got the tangent of a plus b to be negative 6.46, and I got negative 159 over 13 to be negative 12.23. So where did I go wrong? I wonder if you spotted it already. It's something I actually pointed out. I even mentioned it by name, called it out, pointed at it. Let's zoom way the hell in on it. So my stupid friggin' tablet, when I try to write a 4, remember? I go to write a 4, and it connects the tops, makes my 4s look like 9s. So I didn't screw it up down here. I remember this was a 4. I did 8 times 4 and I got 32. But up here, I did this as 9 times 5, called it a 45 and got a 53. So that 53 is wrong. That's why I'm giving you the wrong answer. So my bad. And my apologies. But, you know, takes a big man, right? Takes someone with a lot of character to admit when they're wrong. So, you know, that's me. A lot of character. So let's fix it. Shouldn't take much. So that should actually have been negative 20, which plus a negative 8 would give us negative 28 right here. So we can fix that, no sweat. That'll carry over to here as well. Carry over to here as well. So that should be a negative 28. This should be a negative 28. This should be a negative 28. Should also be gray, but you know, whatever. So that means our final answer should actually be whatever 28 times 3 is, which is obviously 84. And then let's check and see if that's right. Okay, bring back the calculator. I left the A and the B's up, so if any of y'all were trying to kind of actually do what I was doing, where we just actually solve for angle A, solve for angle B, and then evaluate tangent of A plus B, you should be finding that angle A was 151, blah, blah, blah. You should be finding that B is 126, blah, blah, blah. And then hopefully you find that our newest answer, that I already forget, 84 over 13. I'm clicking on the wrong stuff. Negative 84 over 13. All right, mini drum roll. Yeah, we got it. So it's the 84 over 13. Sorry about the mix-up, but hey, you can learn from my mistake. About being sloppy, I guess. Don't be sloppy, I guess was the lesson. All right, so anyway, the good news now is, if that's the tangent of A plus B, then the other thing you were asked to find, cotangent of A plus B, it's just going to be the reciprocal. So there's literally no new work to do at all. It'll just be negative 13 over 84. So that's nice. So we're done. We found both the tangent of A plus B and the cotangent of A plus B, and it was easy because we knew that they were the reciprocal of one another. So that's it. Did I just do 5? Oh, geez. I'm supposed to be doing the evens. What made me want to do 5? Is there no 4? Ugh. Huh. Alright, looks like it's another mystery for me to investigate. If there is in fact a 4, I'll try to do it for y'all. Yeah. Okay, I'm back. And I double checked. There's no 4. It goes 1, 2, 3, 5. So obviously me assigning you guys the evens isn't really going to work. I'm going to want you to do all of these. Do 1 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 5, please. Especially since I already did it for you. We didn't do 1. We did 1 in class, though, probably. I did 2 for you. I just did 5 for you. And yes, I'll do 3 for you also, but I am going to hold you accountable for these as part of your homework. So let's do 3. We'll do it quickly, I hope. So here goes. Same old thing. For angle A, we should be pretty quickly able to determine who the values of x and y and r are. That's kind of annoying to say. X and y and r are. Yeah. Alright, so cotangent is the reciprocal of tangent, so it's x over y. So it's 15 and 8. And which one of these deserves the negative sign? I'm not sure. Depends what quadrant we're in. And it says over here that we're in quadrant 4. Quadrant 4 is a happy little place where x's are positive and y's are negative. So there you go. And this is another Pythagorean triple. I told you we were going to use them over and over and over again, so I hope you memorized them. But it's 8, 15, 17. And radii are never negative, so you know that that's positive. So there's your values. Why do we care? Well, because if we're expanding sine, then we need the sine and cosine of A. We only had the cotangent. But we now have the sine and cosine because the sine will be y over r and the cosine will be x over r. So we now have the sine and cosine of A. We now can do the same thing for B. So little dividing line. If the secant of B is negative 5 over 4, then that's giving us an x and a y and an r. Well, no, it's not. It's giving us a secant is cosine. It's giving us an x and an r. So this is actually r over x because it's the reciprocal of cosine. So the 5 is the radius and the 4 is the x. And again, I'm just going to keep saying this over and over again, not because I like to say things over and over again, but because a big mistake that people make is they assign the negative to the radius, which just can never be. The radius is never negative. So you know that the 4 must be negative then. And again, you already knew that because we are in quadrant 2. And quadrant 2 is the land of negative x's, positive y's. So our y should be positive, and it should be a positive 3 because it's 3, 4, 5 triple. So I've got all these now, and so now I can go to town. If they want the sine of a plus b, then that's going to be sine A cosine B plus cosine A sine B. So that means for the sine of A, we're over here using these blue values. Why don't I color code this a little better then? A is the blue angle. We'll write it in blue. Sine is y over r. So it's negative 8/17. But now we're doing the red angle. We're doing angle B. We're using these values in red. It's cosine now, so it's x over r, so negative 4/5. And again, this is multiplication. So it might not hurt to just put parentheses around this to stress that we're definitely multiplying. We're not subtracting. It's just multiplication. Now we're going to add to that. We're back to an A, so you're focused on these blue values from angle A, and the cosine is x over r, so it's positive 15/17. and then we're back to red. We're doing B again. We want the sign, so it's positive 3/5. But there's everything. So now just finish this off. This is going to be positive 32 85ths. And these are all positive? I guess so. Plus 45 85ths. And that seems like it's going to be 77 85ths. I'm going to go ahead and confidently throw a box around that. And then I'm going to not confidently double check my work again off camera. Change my mind. I'm going to check my work on camera. I just think this is actually somewhat important for you all to see. I don't know, not really. I do just want to remind you that since you were given cotangent here, there's no cotangent button. So what would you do? You'd reframe this as a tangent problem. So you'd say, well, the tangent of A is negative 8/15, so you can do the inverse tangent of the negative 8/15. And that'll give you angle A. But no, it doesn't actually give you angle A. It gives you a negative angle A that lies in quadrant 4. And we want actually a positive angle A. We still want to be in quadrant 4, but we want it to be positive. We want it to be greater than 270 and less than 360. So let's map this ahead. If we just add 360 to this, then we'll get our quadrant 3 reference angle. 331 is the one we want. So we shall now store that as A, if anyone cares. Then for B, well, that's a secant. So again, we would be using the reciprocal value, which is cosine. So we would go inverse cosine of negative 4/5. And it looks like I'm getting an angle right in the quadrant I want. Okay, cosine will sometimes give you quadrant 2 angles. We want to be in quadrant 2. So this is right. I don't have to touch this angle at all. I shall just immediately store that as B. All right, clear. So again, if you were following along, we have an A value of 331 because we were trying to be in quadrant 4. We have a B value of 143 because we're trying to be in quadrant 2. And we were asked to find the sine of the sum of those angles. So A plus B. And the calculator says it should be 0.90588. And that seems like it will be whatever 77 over 85 is. So yeah, feeling good about that. 77 over 85 is definitely right. Okay. So I hope that made sense to you. Shoop. All right. So what now? We are also being asked to do the sine of a difference. And we kind of talked about this already, that the only thing that changes when you're evaluating the sine of the difference, we'll put a little waggly line, sine of A minus B would just be this sign right here, right? Instead of a sum, it's going to be a difference, which means you're going to have 32/85 minus 45/85, which is feeling like a negative 13 to me. 85ths, of course. So I'll put a box around that. And we only put the calculator away about 20 seconds ago. But let's bring it back out again, check ourselves. We've still got A and B stored. So I can even, I'm clicking on the wrong crap again. I can even just go second entry again. Just change that to a minus sign. Calculator says it should be this. Again, that feels good to me because we were just said the answer should be negative 13. Okay, move the calculator. Negative 13/85, that feels right. That's negative and pretty darn small. So negative 13/85. I bet it's 0.15294. It is. Okay, so there you go. So another quick thing to anticipate is, get the calculator out of here. You should probably anticipate that on the upcoming assessment, I won't just ask you for sine of a plus b and then sine of a minus b. It seems like it might be more fun for me to ask you for the cosecant of a minus b. So of course if I asked you for that, you would just find the sine of a minus b, and remember that the cosecant would just be the reciprocal. So that would mean you would get negative 85/13. But obviously, as the honors class, I'd want to throw a few maybe curveballs at you. I wouldn't just say, hey, find me the sine of this and the sine of that, right? Maybe it's find me the sine of this and the cosine of that, so that you at least have to mess around with the identity, right? I could certainly ask you for the tangent. That's probably something I'll do, right? There's only so much room on a quiz, so I'm not going to waste time asking you for sine and then sine again. I'm going to define some angle A, and I'm going to define some angle B, and I'm going to tell you find me the sine of A plus B, find me the cosine of A plus B, and find me the tangent of A plus B. Maybe one of them will be an A minus B. But anyway, it's pretty important as you guys study for a quiz that you think about, what would I change from the homework? Like what am I not doing on the homework that you should know how to do? If you're not thinking about that, that's when you get caught off guard on the quiz. So anyway, I'll shut up. Hopefully you guys followed that. And I think I'm done now, right? Because the only other question was 5, and we did 5. So that's it. That's the end of lesson 9, which is the end of the material that's on our quiz. So if you sat through all of this, congratulations, good job. I hope it helped, and I hope you score really well on the quiz. Stretch. Ask me questions tomorrow. Pretty late right now. It's 10:30. Maybe some of y'all will watch this, but I doubt it. Talk to me about it tomorrow if you do. See ya.